Steven, I'm excited to chat with you because you have this incredible new song out right now, but I know that you're often described kind of as a soul pop artist, but do you have a way that you describe the music you make?
I think that's a good description for somebody that's never heard my music. I think I sort of incorporate a lot of different genres, but I do think a lot of influences over my lifetime sort of like surround the genre of soul, and I just love sort of like songwriting in general, just like sort of classic yeah, songwriting in general.
Who are some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I started playing guitar in middle school, so it would have been like seventh grade. My mom, I like found her nylon guitar that she grew up with I found it in her closet, and she taught me a few chords, and so I like started learning guitar through like YouTube and stuff, but I basically like fell in love with John Mayer's music pretty early on in middle school and listened to all his records. At that point, was like falling in love with songwriting too, just like as I was playing guitar. I think guitar has been like a huge way for me to like explore songwriting because it's
Hmm.
a lot of my songs are sort of like based around a guitar part or something like that. Um, but yeah, John Mayer was a huge influence in middle school, high school, still makes amazing music today, so he's still a huge influence on me. I loved like crooners and stuff, like Sinatra and Stevie Wonder was a huge influence. Like I mean, I feel like Stevie Wonder's music is just you hear it throughout life just because it's like he has so much music and it's all so amazing. So you never know. Like I didn't know I probably was introduced to him very young and just didn't know it was him or something. But definitely became obsessed with him in high school and college as well.
Where did the concept for Sweet Iced Tea come from? What inspired this?
It's funny that we just talked about guitar. It was kind of like around this guitar part. It's got this like almost like honky tonk, like finger picking part to it, and I've always just been trying to like find the specific spot of soul music that I belong in and whatever feels like me, and so I'm always trying to like blend things until they feel like man, that sounds like something Stephen Day would do. And so I think that guitar part was like this, it was like this blend of like country and soul to me. And so I think I like wanted to write a song around that felt like those two things coming together. And Sweet Iced Tea was born from that. It's almost like this nostalgic like summertime feeling like I love you song, you know. And I feel like Glenn Campbell's like Southern Nights, that song does that for me too. And um there's some other songs that have that same feeling to it, but that's kind of what I was after. And it was funny because when I was writing it, I didn't mention Alan Stone earlier, but when I fell in love with Stevie Wonder and his music in high school, I very quickly found Alan Stone, who was heavily inspired by Stevie Wonder as well, and fell in love with Alan's music. And so me and Alan have actually been buddies now for 5 years or so. But when I was writing Sweet Iced Tea, um, like almost could not hear his voice on it. And so I just like texted it to him. I was like, hey man, like, would you have any interest in like hopping on this track with me? And yeah, it was just sort of, a perfect storm.
I love the concept for it. Where did the idea for She's My Sweet Iced Tea come from?
Oh, right. I was like trying to come up with a concept for the music video, and I like I just didn't want to do something that felt like trite or like it'd been done before. And so I just like was I was like like scouring through the lyrics, and I was like, "She's my sweet ice, she's my." I was just like rhythmically started saying it, and I was like, "What if like the Sweet Iced Tea Company was like called She's my?" And it just became this whole bit. I like taking things to like sort of an absurd place. Just I just feel like it's just more fun that way. Like I don't want to just like make something that just feels normal. I want it to make it feel like me, you know?
I think it's a perfect summer song. What kind of response have you been receiving to your from your fans?
I think I get that a lot. Like it's a perfect summer song, and I think people have really enjoyed the like um s- I think there's a lot of heaviness in life in general. And so like I think a song like that has a lot of power and a lot of joy in it. And like by joy, I mean it's not just like a happy feeling. It's just like I think music has the power to lift people's spirits. And so I think that, you know, with whatever kind of song, whatever feeling I'm trying to convey, I am hoping that it has the power to like make people feel things. And I think when people say like, oh, it's a great summer song, it's because it's summertime, you want to feel like you're out there having a good time with your friends and making memories. And I think maybe that's what they're trying to say when they say that.
I think it's one of the standout tracks for sure from Goldmine. What are some of your favorite ones that you have a special place in your heart for?
Off of the album
Yes.
Goldmine. That's a great question. Goldmine like is obviously has a huge part in the album just because it was became the title track to the album as I was finishing it up. We still didn't have a title for the record, and I've never really done like a title track like for an album. But like I was sort of spinning my wheels trying to come up with an album name, and I was with my producer who I love and trust so much. His name's Micah Talks. He works in Nashville. Amazing producer. But we were just like kind of throwing out ideas, and he was like, "Dude, what about Goldmine?" And I think for me, the song Goldmine is I think it's just about this idea of like dying for something, chasing something that's authentic, like wanting something to be real, wanting something to like give back to you the way that you're giving to it. Um, and so I think Goldmine as a song means a lot to me for that reason. But I think it was able to sort of like be a broad stroke for the whole record because I think like all of those songs to me are, you know, either wanting that feeling or responding to that feeling of like the search for that or the desire to have that feeling, if that makes sense.
Well, Sweet Tea is a companion piece for EP. Excuse me, it's a Sweet Iced Tea is a song from a companion EP that's going to be partnering with Goldmine. What can you tease about that?
Yeah, so Sweet Iced Tea was like the first one for this companion EP where basically this EP was sort of like an extension of Goldmine, the album. It was like a continuation of a blend of like some of my favorite country and soul vibes put together like a sandwich. And so like that's what these last three songs are sort of like my it's almost like some like one or two of the songs off the EP I had written before the album. Like it was a part of being picked through for that to be on the album. And like it ended up not going on the album because I wrote it so late next to when I was working on the record and it just kind of fell through the cracks. But the EP, the last one that will come out is called Moonshine, and that song um was I wrote it before the album and it kind of just kept sticking with me. It's similar to like that nostalgic feeling that we're talking about where it's like almost like a summer night, like um I don't know, like a sort of youthful memory of like being with somebody you love or friends that you loved. And um I think it just sort of I think a lot of these songs just feel like um special to me for that reason. Like they're trying to capture a feeling of a moment or like a memory. Yeah.
How much of a hand do you tend to have then when it comes to the production side of the music you make?
Pretty heavy hand. I like to be involved in most parts of what I got going on in terms of like writing, recording, producing. I work very closely with somebody who is like brilliant. And so I'm almost like, throwing paint at the wall and he's like making sense of it. If that makes sense. But I love all parts of making a record. Like I know some people like don't necessarily like recording or like making parts or stuff, but like I just love it all. So like I like playing the parts, I like dreaming the parts up. And so the really the a whole like a song to me is so much more than like the melody and lyrics. It's like how are we gonna package this thing? What kind of outfit we're gonna put on it, you know?
What is a songwriting process like then for you? Do you need to have lyrics before you can craft a beat, or vice versa, or is it not always the same?
It's not always the same. It's changed over the years, but I do think like for Goldmine, I was doing more co-writing than I'd ever done. I still had some solo writes on there, but I was trying co-writing as well, which is a huge part of the Nashville scene, and felt like it was um I don't know, I felt very collaborative making that album, which was really cool. I'd never really done that before. Before Goldmine, it had been all solo writing, and usually up until Goldmine, it was like solo writing. No, it was just me and a guitar, like no tracks, no nothing to write to. Um, and Goldmine was still a mixture of that, but like the process has changed over the years. Sometimes I might have like I think my strongest suit is like melody first, and then almost like building a story around what that melody makes me feel. And then sometimes it might be like, oh, I have a title or I have a line that I need to put music to. But most of the time, it's like working a melody over certain chord progression that makes me feel a certain way and then building a story around that.
All right. Are you back in the studio yet, or have you just been eagerly working to finish up this final companion EP?
Yeah, so the EP is done. I went on a huge headline tour this spring around the States. It was amazing. And as soon as I got back from that, um, I've started writing for whatever's next. And so I'm trying to chase down what the next thing is. And I'm super excited about this EP. Goldmine too. Like I think they're Goldmine and this companion EP are a great little combo. And I'm so excited for everybody to have them and to wear them out, and then I'll be coming again with some more music. I just love it so much.
You collaborated with Alan on Sweet Iced Tea. Is there a dream collab you'd have in mind for someone in the future?
I think so. I mean, Mayer is always my go-to. I just like he's like sort of influenced my life's work. I feel like just because I grew up listening to him so much and I know, you know, so much of his music, look up to how he produced his records and played and wrote as well. So he's like a pretty consistent over my whole career, like a consistent influence throughout. That would be an absolute dream.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music you continue to put out?
What would I like to say to them?
Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't be more grateful. I feel like every time I put out music, it's just a reminder that I get to do something that is so special. And I feel more connected to my fans than ever, just because I feel like we're growing to know each other more. And I am, I just feel like they've been like true fans of me, have seen me. I've been doing this now for, I mean, goodness, 8 years. Um, and I think they've just seen me grow and change and evolve. And I think for any, it's almost like a good friend. It's like
Yeah.
you watch somebody, they're watching me like it's so vulnerable. And so like to stick around through that is just like, I'm so honored. And so if you are listening to my music, have been listening to my music, thank you so much. It means the world to me.